I just lost out on a sale, and this person told me that they're gonna go with somebody who charges half of what I charge but does exactly what I do. And instead of being mad, I literally just let them walk away. I let them think whatever they want to think, because I know that in 3 months or 6 months or however long that contract is that they signed, they're probably going to come back to me because it didn't work out. And I'm very confident that it won't work out, and I'll explain why. The phrase, somebody else is going to charge me less but do the same amount of work as you, is the most expensive phrase in the marketing agency industry for the customer. By the end of this video, you're going to understand why cheap marketing agencies always go out of business. And I'm in a place to educate you about this because I used to be the cheap guy and I fell into this trap. When you're hiring a marketing agency and you're looking to grow your business, your main question should not be, what does this cost? If that's what you're asking the wrong question. The correct question is, what is this marketing agency doing for me that makes them cost so much? You shouldn't be asking, how cheap can your price be? You should be asking, how do you justify your price? Because the difference in those two questions is going to get you drastically different results. The price in my industry is a signal of how well that company operates, how much they do for you. And once you understand how this business model actually works, you'll understand that the price will tell you everything about the quality of the service that you're gonna get. Let me break it down. So let's say somebody is gonna come do social media for your business for $1,000, maybe $2,000 a month. Oh, I got this young kid, he knows about social media, he's gonna come film in my place, he's gonna, $1,000 a month, he's gonna do it all. That's what you and every other cheap business owner who hires them is probably thinking. And $1,000 a month is a great price to have somebody come to your business and film with you in person. And it sounds great on paper, but doing this at a high level, ideating the content, filming it, editing it at a high level, posting it on time at a cadence that actually grows your social media profiles, setting up DM automations, running ads. This is expensive to do at a high level. It takes a team of talented people, and talented people will not work for cheap because they're worth more. People will actually pay them more than a cheap price. So why would they do anything for you for cheap? If somebody is charging you a very low price, it's because they're not good at what they do. When somebody is charging you $1,000 or $2,000 a month, they're doing everything themselves, and they're not just doing it for you, they're doing it for 10 other people because it's a great price, so it sells quick. The problem is when you're doing everything for 10 people, you get too overwhelmed and it doesn't work out. And when you try to scale, you're only making 10 or 15K a month. You can't afford someone who's actually good to come into your business and offload tasks to them. So either they do hire someone and that person doesn't know what they're doing, or they just run into a wall and burn themselves out because they can't do everything themselves. That is the trap with cheap one-off agency owners who are a one-man show. Right when they hit about 5 or 6 clients, and I'm speaking from experience here, it becomes impossible to keep running that business for long. All the plates that they're spinning start to crash at the exact same time. Filming, editing, posting, responding, making revisions for 5 different people with 5 different needs with 5 different businesses. That is not a one-person job. It never was. But they cannot hire people to help them do it because they don't have enough cash to afford good talent who can actually have tasks offloaded onto their plate. And the people they can afford at that margin aren't good, because if they were good, they would be charging higher prices. This isn't me being arrogant, and again, I did this myself 3 years ago when I started this business. Cheap prices means a solo operator, means they're gonna get a lot of customers that they can't handle, and they're gonna crash and burn and all the plates are gonna fall. Unless you know someone who is only gonna work for you and they're happy to only make $2,000 a month and make no money, which I don't know anybody like that, you're probably out of luck. Let me tell you about when I started my agency and I was charging $1,000 to $2,000 a month, and I screwed up my life and another person's life by doing so. So when I started this agency, my prices were very cheap. I was trying to get business. I had no idea what it took to run an agency. So my prices were $1,000 a month. To me, getting someone to pay me $1,000 a month felt like I was hitting the jackpot. I felt like a millionaire. And I quickly got to $10,000, $12,000 a month, charging people $1,000. So I was running 12 clients who I had shoots with every week. I had to do 12 shoots every 7 days. Obviously, I was spinning a lot of plates. And not only did I have to do that, I had to edit the content. I had to post it on their Instagram for them and all their other social media platforms, which took hours per day. You can easily see how this started to fizzle out, and it was an unmanageable workload. So I thought it would be a good idea to take half of my income and spend it on a videographer who could help me with some of this workload. I was paying this kid like $1,000 a week. He quit this job that he had in the city to come work for me. But the problem was my clients didn't like working with this guy because he wasn't the best talent that I could hire, because usually the best talent in the world doesn't work full-time for $1,000 a week in my industry. And I lost some clients because they wanted to see me once or twice a week. So now my income was cut in half, and then I lost a couple clients. So now I went from making $12,000 a month to making $4,000 a month for managing 10 clients who were unhappy. And I had this guy on payroll that I had to pay every week. You can see how this quickly fizzled out and it was unmanageable. And this is the problem with hiring a young kid who's a cheap solution to your social media marketing. Every cheap agency that you hire is somewhere on that clock where they're getting clients at volume to make their money, but they can't sustain it because they don't have talented people to actually do the work. And then they go out of business, they lose clients, they have high churn. It's just a disaster. And you end up wasting your money when you hire a cheap agency. Trust me, they can find somebody else to pay them $1,000 for social media marketing, but you are going to burn thousands of dollars that you cannot get back. Somebody saying, oh, I can do that same work, is lying to your face. Maybe they don't know it, but they are. There's no way they can do what I do for $1,000 a month. I come to your business. I have 90 viral video topics planned out, completely scripted. We film them with professional camera setups. We fly to you. We stay in hotels. We have an expert editing team. We have media buyers who run your ads. We post across all your platforms every day, and we get real virality and real return on investment. That is something that you cannot do for $1,000 a month. I can't even edit your videos for $1,000 a month. Anyone who you're paying a low price to is gonna lack the resources that they actually need to deliver the results that they're promising you. So here's exactly how to pressure test someone you're thinking about hiring to see if they're actually good at what they do or if they're just a cheap Band-Aid solution. 1, ask them who's actually doing all the work. If it's just them doing everything, that is a red flag. That is not a good thing. I know you might think, oh, this is the kid I'm hiring. I want him to do everything for me. If that's the case, you either got super lucky and you found a young kid who's really, really talented, or what's probably happening is you got a really cheap, bad solution to your marketing problems and you're not gonna get any clients from paying them. Number 2, ask them, what happens directly after I pay you? Walk me through the steps. Because a real operation actually has steps that you go through as a client, and it's not just some vague answer where, oh yeah, we start making your content, blah, blah, blah. No, like for example, if you sign up with me today, tomorrow you have an onboarding call. The day after that, you have an ideation call. Within a week after that, my videography team is gonna fly out to shoot with you in person. And then within a week or 2 after that, you'll start posting. And then we do that again every single month, right? I can tell you those exact steps. The 3rd question to ask them is, show me someone like me who you've done this for. Not a highlight reel of viral views, an actual brand in an industry similar to yours that they grew from scratch. Anyone can get lucky with one video. And number 4, ask them what happens when you scale and you get busier. If they don't have an answer to that question, what's gonna break is your marketing plan, not them. If an agency owner cannot answer those 4 questions directly with a clean, direct answer, the price doesn't matter. You're literally just buying the countdown timer of a disaster marketing plan. Look, I made this video because I've been through all these steps before. I had the cheap business. I experienced that entire downfall. Now I have the expensive business that actually gets people results and actually scales because I can afford talented people to do the work that you're hiring me to do. This is the stuff that nobody in marketing wants to say out loud or even has the authority to say out loud because they haven't done any of this stuff before. They're probably the cheap guy that you're still trying to hire. And if you're a busy professional who owns a business that wants to start scaling with social media marketing because it is the cheapest and most effective way to predictably buy clients, click the link below. It's the first link in the description. Fill out the form, and if you qualify, we will have a call and start helping you grow your practice the very next day. My name is Jake Fine from Premier Socials, and I look forward to working with you.